Hello everyone, this is Mukundan Raghavan. In previous videos, we have seen some of the metrics which measure the answer quality, such as faithfulness and response relevancy. And in this video, we are going to see the category of retrieval quality. Retrieval quality in the sense, you will be having documents which has to be referred, which is core part of the RAG. In this retrieval, whether you are getting the correct chunks or not. In simple words, how precise your retrieval step. Based on the retrieval step, you will be having the correct number of chunks which will support your answer, which means high context precision will give the focused output because you have only the relevant chunks so that the quality of the output will be more, whereas less context precision will have the less accuracy. Now, we will quickly understand the retrieval step so that we can clearly clarify what is answer quality and what is retrieval quality. For example, answer quality such as faithfulness and response relevancy will consider the output, the quality, comparing with the context or the question. Whereas context precision, nothing related to output. It is generally about how much quality chunks you are retrieving from the document database. Now let's try to understand the retriever module. The user query obviously will be the first input. Then the retriever or retrieval module will come into picture. Based on the input query, it will be retrieving the relevant documents from the external knowledge base. Obviously, it would be the vector database. But the number of returned retrieved documents will quantify the quality of the output. Then the input query plus the retrieved documents will be sending to the large language model. Now in this metric, which is context precision, we are seeing how much efficiency the retrieval module is. If it is very efficient, it will retrieve only the correct number of documents. Now we have understood the retriever. Now let's understand some more categories inside the retriever. Now context precision, that already we have seen the simple definition. Here you can have the formal definition. Context precision is equal to the number of relevant chunks retrieved versus the total number of context chunks retrieved. There are two types of context precision. One is with reference, another one is without reference. Reference here in the sense, the ground truth. If you know already the answer for the given question, then that will be the reference answer. Then every retrieved context chunk will be compared with the ground truth or reference. Now the relevant chunks versus the total retrieved chunks. Here you can see the example. What is the capital of France? The reference answer, because we already know the answer, Paris. And retrieved chunks, Paris is the capital of France, France in the Europe, Eiffel Tower is in Paris. So if you compare these three, only two are relevant, one is not relevant. So the precision could be 0.67. Now consider the scenario, you don't know the answer. Then it will be measured using the semantic similarity versus the query and the context. If you have the similarity function, which is giving the value of 0.8 or more than that, then that is relevant. If it is less than that, that is not relevant. So based on this, they will be calculating the precision. Now we have seen there are two types in the context precision, with reference, without reference. Reference is nothing but the ground truth. If you know the answer already, then the reference will be used for calculating the context precision. Whereas if you don't know the answer, which means without reference, then you can use the semantic similarity search. Based on the threshold value, you will decide whether the given chunk is relevant or not. So now we have understood what is context precision, and we have seen what is retriever, and we have seen the two types of context precision, with reference and without reference. Now let's try to understand the sample code. Now as usual, the import statements that we have discussed in the previous videos. Here we are using the LLM from the ChartGrok. So we have created the LLM, and also as I told, this is one of the LLM metrics, which means for calculating the context precision, we need the LLM. Now again, we are creating the wrapper class for the LLM so that we can use in the RAGAS framework, LangChain LLM wrapper. Now, the first sample I am creating without reference. That means that I don't have the reference here or ground truth. User input, when was the first Super Bowl? And the response has been given and the retrieved context. Here you can see you will have multiple chunks which may not be relevant to the given user query. So with that, we will proceed another sample. This is with reference. That means that the question is, where is the Eiffel Tower located? Reference, we know it is located in Paris. And the retrieved context. We are also providing the retrieved context for the given user input. Now we are going to calculate the precision of the context. In both questions, we will have the retrieved context, whether it is relevant or not, how much relevant, that's what we are going to calculate using the context precision. We also have the name correctly with reference and without reference. Both are using the same LLM, but the class is different. Here LLM context precision without reference, another one is with reference. Now we have created the scorer. As usual, the same thing, we will use the async method and we are sending the sample without reference to the context precision without reference instance, the same way with the reference. Once we have the scores, we are printing in the outside. Now let's run and see the output. Here you can see context precision without reference, which is 0.8, whereas context precision with reference is 0.9. The reason is very obvious. When you compare the sample without reference, it has the retrieved context, and this context having relevant chunks, which is lesser than the irrelevant chunks. You can see the answer lies in the first chunk itself, whereas we have so many other chunks, which is not so much relevant to the given question. So that's the reason the score is comparatively less, which is 0.8. Whereas in the sample with reference, the reference is clear, and within within two chunks of context, we have already got the answer. So that's the reason the context precision is 0.99, which is more closer or more near to the one value, which is maximum. So with this, we can clearly understand by using the context precision, we will clearly understand how relevant our chunks which are retrieved from the retrieval module. Basically, context precision will evaluate the efficiency of the retriever or retriever module. And this is all about this video, and always be a rainbow in others' cloud.